All right. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for getting on this Wednesday night tribe Zoom that we have. And I so appreciate all your faces being shown. I appreciate you guys taking the time to show up. That's going to be one of the things that you'll notice. The more you show up, the more you'll go up. And I just appreciate you guys showing up for yourself, because that's what you really did tonight, was you showed up for yourself. Some of you don't know who I am. We have a lot of new people, so I'm just gonna real quick, briefly just kind of tell you my story. My name's Stephanie Sutton. I have been in this business. Next month will be 5 years. I'm a double diamond, looking to promote our team to triple and beyond. And we're so excited for what's coming. Like, corporate's gonna be coming out with some amazing stuff, but I am obsessed with this business. Okay. I grew up basically always feeling like I didn't want to miss out on things. And I did not realize that there was a different option besides what we're taught, like what society teaches us, what our parents teach us, which is a big thing when you first come into this, or even if you've been in this for a while. We almost need to relearn some things and almost unlearn some things, because we're taught, which there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with going to college and getting a degree. There's nothing wrong with all of that. But we're not really taught to dream. We're not really taught to be entrepreneurs. We're not taught to think outside the box. Okay. So I always felt weird growing up, like not wanting to miss moments. I just thought like something was wrong with me. I didn't realize there was going to be an opportunity like this. So I did the whole go to college, get the degree, become the dental hygienist, go to work, had a new baby. And I was literally going to work when it was dark and coming home when it was dark. I was crying on my way to work. I was crying on my way home. I was literally just miserable, which sounds crazy to some people because I was making $30, $35 an hour. I was in my career, but I was missing all the moments, and I didn't know that there was anything different. And the worst part is, even though I was making that money, we were still struggling. My husband had a landscaping company. He was still working every day, all week, and then traveling on the weekends for extra work. We were drowning in debt. We were making poor choices of putting things on credit cards because we didn't have an option. In landscaping and in snow plowing, you don't get paid when you do the job. You normally get paid a week, a month, 2 months later. So it's very difficult. And I just got sick and tired, honestly. And I was the person, I don't think I've ever shared this on a Zoom before, but I was the person who I would just call off work. I would find reason, my anxiety would get so bad, and I would just call off work. And I was irresponsible, really. But I just got overwhelmed. And it happened to be where the dentist I was working for got rid of me and another hygienist for no reason. And I started subbing as a hygienist, kind of like a teacher can do. Okay. And that was the first glimpse I got of kind of owning my time, because when you do that, just like a sub, you don't have to take the job. You get to choose. Well, there were times where I was like, well, I'm busy that day, or I want to be home with my daughter that day, or I don't want to. And that gave me a glimpse of, that's a thing. Like, that's weird. And I had known Autumn, who is your triple diamond leader. Okay. You know who Autumn is. I had known her for a long time. She had actually went to high school. Funny story, I'll make you laugh. And I say this all the time. Some of you know this, some of you don't, but way back in high school, Jake, my husband, and Autumn dated. Okay. You can laugh now. So anytime you're like, I don't know, it's kind of uncomfortable. Okay. Like, I'm best friends with my husband's ex-girlfriend, who is our triple diamond. If you don't think God has a sense of humor, let's talk about that. Okay. So I hadn't really been paying attention to her doing this business because it wasn't on my radar. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, this chick over here, like, she's like doing this business. She's getting to be with her son. She's, has all these options. And I was like, whatever, if I can do this to pay a car payment, that would be awesome. Because honestly, I just didn't want my husband to judge me for not really wanting to work, because for a while I got unemployment. Then I was subbing at doing hygiene. Then I started helping him. And then I started helping him doing landscaping. And so when I started this, I was like, if I can pay a car payment, that's going to like get him off my ass, right? Like, that's really what I thought. And I didn't realize what this opportunity was going to do. Okay. So I want to give you guys a little encouragement. If you're brand new, I did not sign my first loyal customer until I was 3 weeks in. And I want to be very clear. When I jumped in head first. Okay, I paid the $99 to start the business that we didn't have. And because Jake was like, if you're going to do it, let's do it, I added on $500 worth of product. So I paid almost $600 when I started this business because I was like, let's do it. Like, we've always been business mindset. Like, Jake paid $45,000 for a landscaping company. $600 was nothing. So I want to put that in perspective. When you feel like talking to somebody about joining this business for $99, guys, $99 is nothing to start a business, because this is a business. Like, when I went to hygiene, like when I was doing hygiene, I had to put gas in my car to go to work for somebody else. We pay to go to our jobs. Okay. So when somebody is saying something about $99, I'm not minimizing that $100 isn't valuable. I'm not minimizing that $100 may be a struggle to some of you at this point. But what I'm saying is I paid $600, and I would do that all day, every day, because of what this can do for you. Okay. And I didn't sign my first loyal customer for 3 weeks, but when I jumped in, I did this stuff. I started watching Jade Hooper videos. I started soaking in all the information. I asked Autumn all the questions. I submerged myself in this. So if you're like dipping your toe in the water and wondering why you're not getting results, that's why. Okay. That would be like, I don't know how to word this. I'm all about analogies, so you're probably going to get a ton of them tonight. Okay, but that would be like being like, I want to get a tan, but you're like standing inside your door and you haven't like walked outside yet. You're just like letting the sun reflect off the door, and you're like, I don't know why the sun is not tanning my skin, because you haven't like gone for it, right? Like, you got to like jump in the water. You can't put your toe in and wonder why you're not getting results. Okay. And I think a lot of you hold yourself back because you may feel like you have to know everything before you can be great at this. And I want to just tell you that's not true. You're always going to learn. This is a learn while you earn business. This is a come as you are and become the best version of yourself. So submerge yourself, okay? So you can get the results. So it took me 3 weeks to sign my first loyal. It took me 3 months to sign my first distributor. And by my 5th month, I went diamond, guys. Replaced my full-time income, retired myself from hygiene, and I've never had a boss, never done hygiene, never looked back, never, because I got a taste of owning my time, and I was like, hell no, will I ever have somebody tell me when I can see my daughter, when I can take a trip, when I can have a sick day, when I can just not feel good and want to lay in bed, when I want to go visit my grandma, when I want to go out to lunch, when I want to help a sick family member. It doesn't matter. Owning your time and having options is what got me obsessed with this business. Okay. Now, you may not want to quit your job. That's totally fine. But whatever you started this for, you have to become obsessed with it. And you have to decide, if you've been telling yourself you don't have time for this business and time for the daily tasks, you have to decide and sit down. I would encourage you to write down what your day looks like on a piece of paper. Because if you feel like you don't have time for this business, you're not telling your time where to go. You're letting your day control you, or you're saying yes to too many things that are not serving you. Now, I'm going to go over some self-development stuff in a little bit, and the self-development stuff I go over will really help you with having a positive mindset, how to stay motivated, how to just believe in yourself, how to want to do this on the days you don't want to, okay? Because you're not always going to wake up and want to do this, but you have to remember why you're doing it. And your whys is going to change, okay? Like we have been able, like, I want to put this in perspective. So when I started to pay a car payment and I did that, and then I wanted to eventually like not do hygiene. Once that happened, I could have just been like, okay, I reached my goal, right? But there's been a lot of other things that have happened in the meantime. I paid off my $20,000 student loans 10 years early. That happened like 3 years ago. We have gone on so many trips. I mean, like, I call myself a travel slut. Like, if I'm not taking 6 trips a year, that's a problem for me. Okay, like if I find a flight tomorrow, I'm booking something whenever we want to go. Okay, now obviously Riley's in school, makes it a little difficult, but that's my point, is like the option to want to, okay, to get to do that. We're debt free now. We have no debt. We're getting ready to build a home in the next 6 months. My husband has completely sold the landscaping company and went into a different career path of a roofing company that gives him more flexibility of pursuing what he wants to do. So if it wasn't for this business, we would have not thought bigger. We would have probably just been stuck. Okay. So this business is going to let you dream bigger. This business is going to allow you to, if you started this to put gas in your car or pay groceries or pay a car payment, it's going to let you dream bigger. And you're going to be like, but really? And I'm here to tell you, absolutely yes. Like, do not limit yourself. Okay. If you've never made a dream board or a vision board, you need to do that. All that means is you can go all out, or you can do something as simple as taking out a piece of paper and listing things that you want. Like at the beginning of the year, I did not go full bore like I should have, but I had things on my dream board, vision board, like a credit score of 800, debt free, prepare to build a house. We've leased cars. Okay. So we wanted to be able to lease a truck for my husband. We did that. Okay. Doesn't mean and it could be other things, not money related, guys. Like read a book or listen to one book a month. I wanted to personally make myself a priority every single day, like going for a walk or getting my water in. Okay, guys, self-care is super important. So making this business a priority for yourself is not selfish. And you have to take care of yourself as well. Like you have to make sure that you're moving your body. I don't care if that's a walking, Zumba. I don't care what you enjoy, bike riding, whatever you enjoy, move your body, get up and move, do something. Get your water in, take your products, get your supplements in, get enough rest. Nobody at all in this business needs to be like running on 2 hours of sleep to try to promote or go Ruby or get to the top. Like that's not healthy. If you are actually telling your time where to go, you can do this business. Like I'm talking, you're like, no, I'm committed. I want to go to the top. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I want to do it. If you actually commit and tell your time where to go, you can work this business into the nooks and crannies of your day and do no more than 2 hours of work, combined actual income producing activity. Like I'm not on my phone all day, every day, but I did have a period of time where I thought I had to be and I burnt out. So I'm giving you a tip. Don't do that. If you feel like you're not producing, you feel like you're not getting results, you need to go to your leader and say, can you help me? I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. So I just want to encourage you guys to do a vision board or write some things down that you want. You need to know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going or where you want to go or what you want to accomplish, then it's not going to be exciting to do this. Okay. And I don't care what your goal is, but you have to write it down. So write some things down, right? Like 5 personal things you want to accomplish. Maybe it's lose 10 pounds. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it's take walks. Maybe it's spend more time with your husband. Maybe it's make your kids a priority more at bedtime. Maybe it's yell less. Maybe it's visit your grandma more often. Maybe it's go get a pedicure once a month. Like think of things that you want to do for yourself. And then think of like 5 other like income goals. Do you want a new car? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to go on a trip that you've never gone on a trip? Do you want to have enough money for date nights every week? Like think of some things, and then you need to make sure that you're like actually dialing in on those. Okay. So I'm going to actually introduce, before I go into some of the stuff about working smarter, not harder, I'm going to actually introduce somebody that got started with me like, I don't know, like 4 months ago. She's incredible. From the second we started talking, I was like, girl, you like seriously, so much of me and you, like I see so much, like you, like she blew me away with how she just jumped in, started running. She's just taken on such a leadership role. She was just recently at the Kneller Retreat in Tennessee. I won a spot in my first year. And when I went to that retreat, it was something that absolutely changed my business. The people I met, the things that I heard, and she just had that experience, and I'm excited to have her get on here and just share with you, really just from her heart, what she learned, everything. I'm just going to kind of just give her the stage. And she went Ruby. She's, I don't even know how many loyal customers she's enrolled, but a lot. Okay. And I'm just really excited for Kristen to just kind of share her heart and just kind of speak to you guys. I'm going to unmute you, Kristen. And then we're going to go into some of the other topics for the evening. And I'm going to mute myself. That way there's no background noise. So go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen. I did just start at the end of April of this year. And like Stephanie said, like I hit the ground running too. I was on fire about this. Like my why was to be at home with my kids. Like that was it. Like that's really all I wanted to do was be home with my kids. And so I had to make this work for me. And so I just put all my attention to working this business, and really that's what it takes. I absolutely love it. It's a lot of fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right, because this is a really great business. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great people that you're going to meet along the way. So like Stephanie said, I did go to the retreat, and oh my gosh, you guys, if you get the opportunity to run for a retreat, go for it, because I almost didn't go, and I totally would have missed out on so much. I don't even know. Like, there was so much, and I can't even explain like how much I needed that. The time that I was in before the retreat, it was a dark time. I had a lot of questions that I needed answers to, and I just felt like I wasn't getting that. And when I went to this retreat, you guys, like, it's changed me. As soon as I got home, I told Stephanie before I even got home, I was still in Tennessee. I'm like, I'm ready to work, girl. I'm ready to get back on there. I'm on fire again. Let's go. It's amazing. To be hooked up to people that are like-minded with you is so important. Like, do not skip over these steps. You need to hook up with people that have the same mindset as you, and be connected to that, and just don't think you're alone if you're ever going through stuff. All right, I'm gonna talk about that here in a minute. So let me start, because I got these numbered and I want to hit everything, but I don't want to take up everybody's time all night. So why me was my first point. Something I took away from the leaders retreat was, why not me? You know, how I was feeling. I was just a little Ruby going to a retreat where there was a bunch of presidentials and triple diamonds and double diamonds, and it was so overwhelming. I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know anybody there, you guys. None of them. I just knew the Chad and Jari that were hosting it. I didn't know them personally, but I knew that they were some, you know, top earners, some big people, you know, really successful. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I flew for the first time. I went there. I did all the things. I hooked up with another chick, and she drove me 4 hours to the retreat. Like, we got to know each other on the trip, and it was amazing. But I was really shy. I was kind of like holding myself back at first, but I was like, Kristen, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Like, you need to take advantage of this. Like, everybody was like, I know you, and they were all happy, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I have no idea. But all of these people had their life together, and here I am sitting, like, I'm in a place right now where my life's kind of falling apart, and I'm looking like a hot mess in my eyes, you know, and they all got their life together, and they, you know, they're just having a great old time. And then they started to share their stories, and we worked, you know, our way up from diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, presidential, and all of them have been through some mess. And even recently they've been through some mess, and I'm like, man, I can really relate to these people, you know. So that got me thinking, like, why not me? Why can't I be at the top of the leaderboard with all of them if, you know, we all went through the same stuff? And so that made me a little more approachable. I was like, okay, I connected with that story, so let me go talk to them. The only difference, you guys, between me and these top earners was time and activity. Okay, they've been in here a lot longer than me, and just doing the things. People are watching us every single day, and, you know, people aren't going to just say yes right away. It's going to take some time for them to see those results, see your consistency every single day. So that's the only difference between us newer people and the top earners, is just time and your activity doing your business. So I really love that point, because I really felt like a hot mess, and I was like, I cannot be these people. They got their stuff together. They're Gucci, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, but we are all the same. We all go through life. Life happens. My second point is, never forget your why. We all have a reason why we started this business. And like Stephanie said, it's going to change. But remember your foundation. Like, where did you start? What was your why? Why did you do this? You know, because you had to have said yes for a very important reason. Never lose sight of it, and keep it in sight. So like how Stephanie was talking about a vision board. I don't have one yet, but I learned how important this is. And me and my daughter are definitely going to make one this weekend. Post your why in front of you. If you have a workspace, post that up there. See it every single day. Okay, so you never lose focus. When things start to happen, look at it and be like, no, I can't stop. Okay, your vision board, it needs to be right up there with your why, and see all your visions every single day. So that way when things start to happen, because it will always happen, I promise you, that you won't lose your focus. The difference between those that succeed and those who quit are those who make their business a priority. So if you need to succeed and this is what you really want to do, you have to make it a priority, because not everybody is going to want it as bad as you. And that's where they fall off, but that's where you can move up. You know what I'm saying? So keep the faith and remember that we're all human. We're not alone. You have your upline, you have people that are like mine. Everybody in this group, we're all here because of the same reasons. You are not alone. Let's see. To see your next blessing, you need to rise above the rest, do your best, and be abundantly blessed. Yes, that was my own rhyme. I thought that was important, but it's true though. Like, to see your next blessing, you have to rise above whatever mess what's going on. You have to rise above the rest to get abundantly blessed. Like, it's so true. As soon as, never mind, I'll get to that at the end. That's in my next notes. My next one is take quitting off the table and it won't be an option. Do not quit on yourself. This is something that spoke to me. A leader said, she said, think about those who doubted your success with network marketing. Use that for motivation and prove them wrong. But in the same sense, those that are rooting for you, like your children, and are so excited for you for your little wins in your business, can you go to them and say, sorry, honey, I'm quitting. I'm giving up. I know this was supposed to be how I stay home with you or go on that vacation, but I quit. Like, think about that. Like, how does that resonate to your kids, you know, or people that are depending on you for this? Like, take that off the table so it doesn't become an option. Like, you cannot quit on yourself. You cannot quit on your kids and your family. For whatever reason you join this business, you need it, right? Okay. So, like, you wouldn't let your kids quit when things get uncomfortable for them. That's not something I personally am teaching my kids, you know, absolutely not. So, just make sure you take quitting off the table. And have a vision for your future. So we already talked about that a little bit, didn't we? Yeah. So it's important to have a visual of your why every day. Make them big, make them specific. So don't be like making vague plans for your future. Make them big and specific and put them up there so you can see them every day. Even if you want to start small and work your way to big ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, make them attainable. And then know that you can go for the goal. I would include your kids in making this as well. And when I was asked at the retreat, what is my future and what are my goals with this job, I thought I had a bunch of stuff to say. And really all I could think of is I would really like to build a house on land. And that's all I could come up with. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But she's like, incorporate your kids and, you know, see what their vision looks like for their future. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, incorporate that, get them excited, you get excited about that. Like, how would you would love to take your kids on this marvelous vacation that they've always wanted to go on, right? Just incorporate them, do it as a family, like, so they can be rooting for you too, and you can make yourself accountable that way as well. I was thinking I need to start making incentives, like even just a list for yourself. Like, when I go Ruby, I'm gonna buy a pair of gym shoes. You know what I'm saying? It makes yourself accountable. And it makes you excited. So like, when you're so close to Ruby, you're like, oh yes, you know, and I get to buy this for myself because I just promoted. You can make it small. You can do something for the family, like a day trip. When you go diamond, do like a shopping spree for yourself or a new tattoo. I don't know. Those are just a couple options. I'm just saying. And like Steph just yesterday went and sat in her future home because she claimed it, and she will make it happen because she's amazing. And the only difference between her and I is time and activity. So I love that house, by the way. You know, we all need to do that. Whatever our goal is and whatever we see for our future, we need to go see that in person, make it a visual and see it, because that can be obtainable. You know, I talk to leaders that can make, you know, 30,000 a month, you guys. Like, I actually talk to somebody. It's not just a paper. It's not an income disclosure. Like, I've actually talked to people that make income like that. It's insane, but it's obtainable as long as you put the focus and make this a priority in here. How do I keep myself in the game? So personal development, I'm not going to go too hardcore into this because Steph is going to. Oh, I threw away my other notes. Personal development every day. It's so important to take care of your mind and your soul, because the enemy, when he sees that you're doing good and you're about to get your next blessing, the first thing he does is attack your mind every single time. He's going to attack your mind, and he's going to have you believing like you're not good enough. You're not ever going to make it to the top earner. What they have, you can't have. So you have to take care of yourself. But I'm not here to give the enemy attention. Fuel your soul and your mind every day. If you're a believer and pray every morning over your chart and your team. Pray for the people who need these products, need this business to find you. Okay? Find your favorite public speakers. And my friend that I just made in Tennessee, she's the one that transported me everywhere. She was telling me about podcasts. I'm kind of like, I live under a rock a little bit. I'm like, oh, what's this podcast, you know? And she recommended Sean Croxton and the quote of the day. So we got to listen to one while we were driving, and it's basically about 10 minutes. He puts on a public speaker, and they do like a little blurb from that speech for 10 minutes, and that's it. And then he'll give you the link for the rest of it if you need to listen to it. You guys, these were so amazing. I love it. And then you can just like turn it on and just drive down the street wherever you're going or whatever. But that's what I loved about the podcast that I'm just now getting into, because I'm like an old lady in a young body. But the last thing is, this is like really another big thing that I'm looking for the notes, but I'm just going to speak from the heart. How about that? This was a really, really big thing that I took away from it. So like I shared with some people that I had just met, I've never made like lifelong connections with people. Like to say I have like a best friend that I could go talk to, I'm like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like my daughter and my dad, she's like, no, outside of your family. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never really made like lifelong connections like that with real people. And so going to this retreat and meeting these people, how positive and spiritual and loving they are, it's so important to connect to people that have the same mindset as you, that want to win and want to see you win. And it's just amazing. So like if you know people that are in this business and they're local to you, try to meet up with them, you know, go have lunch with them. Surround yourself with that positivity, because I don't know about y'all, but I need more positivity in my own home, you know, and like sometimes that can get to me. So definitely make those connections with people, because for me, it's turned my life around. It's turned my business around in just those couple of days that I spent with, you know, new people. And I didn't even know them, but I was just like, spilling all my guts. Like, where have you been all my life? But just do that. You just really got to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, take care of your time, and do the business. And that's it. That's all I got. So thank you for listening, and thanks for having me, Steph.
Oh my gosh, you just killed that. Can you guys, okay, it's interactive. I want you guys to get in the chat, show her love, give her your aha, tell her what you can relate to. Like, don't leave her hanging, because I'm going to mute you, Kristen, just so that there's no weird noises. But that was incredible. She touched on like 1,000 things, like, I mean, just in such a short time, like so amazing. Like that's exactly how I felt. And just like she said, she can't really transfer that emotion or that feeling she has. When we have a conference and we start like really telling you guys like, okay guys, you have to get to conference. We can't bring that feeling home. It's 1,000%. Like, you surround yourself with like-minded people. Your environment, you need to protect your environment. You need to protect your mind. You need to protect what you want. It's not selfish. And you need to like show up for yourself. Like events are amazing when you get around people. I don't care if it's one other person in this business, even if it's FaceTime. Like if you just need this type of Zoom FaceTime because you don't have people local, we can still connect like this. Way back at the very beginning of quarantine, Nicole and I would like get on Zoom and we would just, for like 4 hours, we would talk, work, do laundry. If it was in the evening, we'd have a glass of wine, we'd girl talk, we'd do life. And like, because you need that connection. Okay. So don't isolate yourself. Don't feel like if you're going through something, you're alone. There's a couple things I want to touch on that I had in my notes. So this is the thing, guys, you're never going to get to a point, or you shouldn't get to a point in this business where you're going to never have fear. Like you're never going to get to a point where you just are just like, oh, this is like, I feel comfortable with all the areas of this business. If you've gotten to that point, you're not growing every day. Okay. Self-development should push you out of your comfort zone. Okay. You're going to need to get out of your comfort zone in order to be able to accomplish whatever goals you have. It wouldn't matter if you were in a new relationship, if you got a new job, if you had a new baby. P.S. I want to go back to real quick. I think it was Allison. You put in the chat about your why for this. I want you to follow Erin Tweed. Erin Tweed is actually somebody who has completely paid for all of her fertility because she couldn't have a baby. And she's literally like all from this business. So Erin Tweed, there's a person that you can follow for everything. Okay. So I'm going to shoot off some names real quick, even though they're in the units, guys. Cheyenne Knox, she is young. She's like 21, just went ambassador. If you're in college or, cause if you're in college or a college dropout or you're young, that's a good person to follow. Same with Morgan Martin. Okay. Morgan Martin, started and, she just went out the gate as well. And she's super young. Jade Hooper is by far one of my favorites. Jade Hooper is in the top 10. I binge watch. I still listen to everything Jade Hooper. Anything I can watch on YouTube, I am always trying to do self-development, which is something to make myself feel better, which is like a podcast, an Audible, a YouTube video, but I'm also trying to watch a training every day. Now, you may be like, I don't know when I'm going to have time for that. I have kids. I have a job. I have a husband. Guys, we all shower. We all do our not all the time. Let's just be real, okay? We all shower. We all do our makeup. We're all driving around. We're all taxiing our kids. We're all folding laundry at some point in time. We all are watching Netflix or something crazy on TV. We have time to fill our minds with something. It's just a shift in like priority, okay? So what I like to do is anytime I'm driving, that's when I love to listen to my Audible. If I'm doing dishes, if I'm in the shower, guys, if you're showering every day, make that your self-development time. Like turn it on, listen to it while you're getting ready. 15 minutes, you're done. Okay. You're going to always have a fear behind this business, but you have to do this business in spite of the fear. You have to keep going no matter how afraid you are to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to have oh shit moments. You're going to doubt yourself, but you have to keep going. Okay. If you're brand new and you haven't had an oh shit moment yet, it's coming. Okay. And you're gonna be like, oh God, like, Ashley Mayfield will word it in the sense of, she's another good person to follow. Ashley Mayfield is like a firecracker. You like red fire, like gonna just give it to you and just be super loud and like animated. Okay. Ashley Mayfield. All right. I mean, okay. Like seriously, all right? She'll kick you in the ass every single day. Go listen to Ashley Mayfield. She was like, you're going to have an oh shit moment where you're going to feel like you bought an elephant and you're like, oh God, it's going to show up at my doorstep and what am I going to do with the elephant? Guys, this is not like that. Like this is a business and there's no time clock, okay? And you're going to have moments where you're like, what am I doing? But that's okay. The other people you can follow, Jackie Deering is incredible. She's in Canada. She's a mom. Jade Hooper mom came into this business with she was a hairdresser, came into this business with one kid. Now she has 3. If you're older, Melody McFarland is actually our upline. Melody McFarland was the first ever ambassador in the company. She's been in this business like 16 years. If you want to follow some couples in this business, Stephanie and Joel Dunn, they're number 1 in the company. Sherry Lynn Ocala, she is incredible. Her and her husband do this. Carrie and Tay Young, they're a couple, they do this together. Guys, there's literally like, if you want some people to follow and you want to message me and say, listen, this is where I'm at, this is where I come from, I want some people that I'm going to relate to, because that's what you have to find, is someone you're going to relate to. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Okay. At the beginning, I said that there's so much that you have to unlearn, because you're going to have people in your environment pull you in different directions, and they're going to tell you, you can't do it, or why would you do that, or that's silly, or that's stupid. And just like Kristen said, you have to just do it in spite of them. Okay. You can't quit on yourself. You have to want it more. And if those people are not paying your bills and giving you what's on that dream board, they have no right to be in that vicinity of what you want. Now, that doesn't mean that's not going to hurt. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get offended. Doesn't mean that people are going to make mean comments sometimes, but there are more people watching you, impressed that you have the balls to go after something they're too scared to go after, and you're inspiring somebody. You may not believe it. You may be a distributor and not have one person on your team, but if you're actually posting like you should and you're sharing like you should, somebody is inspired by what you're doing. And you all have a story, whether you've made no money or whether you've been in this business for 5 years like me. We all have a story. So you need to think about what your story is, because it matters, because it brought you here. Like, it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what color you are, what age you are, what race you are. It doesn't matter if you've been sexually abused. It doesn't matter if you're divorced. It doesn't matter if you're married, if you're a dog mom. It doesn't, like, if you stay at home, if you've been physically abused, if you've been in jail, if you've been a drug addict, if you've been an alcoholic, if you're actually going through any of those things right now, that's your story. And you need to learn how to channel that and share that, because it will literally inspire other people to be like, wow. Okay. All right. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to show you guys some organization, some random, like, kind of social media stuff. I want to go into some stuff, and it's going to kind of be all over the place, but get your piece of paper out. I'm going to screen share. I'm going to show my phone. I'm actually going to go through some things, and I need Kristen. I'm gonna like mute myself on my computer, but so I can't hear myself, but I want to make sure you can still hear me, because I'm technically on my phone and on my computer. So let me make sure this doesn't make a weird noise. Hold on. Let me go into the Zoom, and I need to share my screen. Okay, first of all, oh crap, now I can't see Kristen. Hold on. Well, can you still hear me? Okay, and you can see my phone, correct? Okay, so this is super weird. I went from seeing 30 people to now seeing like 5. So this is like really weird. Okay, so I'm gonna be able to share on my screen I'm gonna go through some different organization stuff. I'm like literally gonna shoot through it, and I can't see the chat right now. So I'm gonna randomly check in on the chat in a second, okay? So some stuff I wanna go over. First of all, here's some organization, okay? I put stuff on my phone in categories. All right, so you'll see where I have social media, I have editing, I have traveling, food, it works, games. Okay, if you don't know how to do that on your phone, now remember I have an Android, not an Apple, so bear with me. But you can literally just hold down on something and drag it into a box, and it'll put it into a file. Okay, and then if you want to, when you go into that, if you want to name it, you just click like up here, and you can name it whatever you want to name it. Let me go back into it here. So what I mean by that is, oh damn. Come on, man. Okay, so like, for instance, I can name this whatever I want to name it, okay? And you can organize however you want to organize your phone, but I can tell you, that's annoying. I'm going to have to fix that. Development. Okay, I can tell you that when you organize like this, it's going to help keep your life a lot easier, because I have all my social right here in a file. So I want to kind of tell you a couple things about like how I use things, because I'm not in depth on everything. Okay, so my Snapchat, something you're going to want to do, I use my Snapchat for filters, so I could just take a picture of myself, okay, and use it for filters. I don't actually use Snapchat. I don't grow my Snapchat, and I'm not posting on my Snapchat for customers and distributors, although some people do. What I use my Snapchat for is for filters, for taking pictures. So don't tell me you can't take a picture of yourself and make your, how much I like, you know what I look like right now. Okay. In a second, I'm going to show you how I can take a picture with a filter and look completely different. So it don't matter what kind of day you're having, use a filter, show your face. People need to see who you are because they're going to buy from you and join your team when they know, like, and trust you. You're going to want to add to your story every day. You can add to your story on Instagram and Facebook, but something I try to do every single day is I go into Snapchat and I make a video of myself making my coffee. This was me today, okay? All I do, and I'll show you how I do it in a second, but this is my video, okay? It's just me grabbing my coffee, throwing it into a cup. I'm putting my creamer in. It doesn't matter if Riley's yelling in the background being an asshole. It doesn't matter if Jake's on the phone, because I always speed it up and add music to it. So don't sit there and tell me you can't do this because you got a crazy house. It does not matter if someone's in the background killing a cat. You're not gonna be able to hear it, okay? So what I do then after I take this video, okay, is I swipe all the way over to where the rabbit is, and look at how it speeds up my video. See how it's like super fast now? So it sped it up. So in the bottom left-hand corner, do you see the little arrow down with like the line under it? Once I speed it up, I click that little arrow with the line under it and it saves it to my gallery. Then I don't care about Snapchat anymore, okay? Then I go into Instagram. And if you go into Instagram and you click on the camera at the top left, and then you click on the bottom left where the little square is, okay, it takes me into my gallery, and your phone might be a little bit different. Okay, don't mind all my stuff on here. Let me find my video of me doing my coffee. Hold on, done a lot of stuff today. So my video with my coffee is right here, okay? So what I do is now it's sped up. So I will go in and I add music. How do I add music? On the very top, there's a square with a smiley face. When you click the square with the smiley face, this is gonna pop up. This is where you can add polls to your, if you wanna like ask a question, you can click music. So I click music, and then you can search for music at the top, or it'll recommend music, okay? And so say I'm gonna pick this one. Can you hear that? A little bit? No? Okay, hold on. It's weird. It's like I can hear it, but you can't hear it. Okay, so it's playing a song, okay? So what I'm doing is it's only 15 seconds. Now I have technically 2 videos because my video is 26 seconds long. So what I'm gonna do is click done in the top right-hand corner. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna drag it down out of the way. It's still gonna play the music. Okay, then, wow, I can hear myself. That's weird. Then I'm gonna click on the second video. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back up to the smiley face square. I'm gonna click music again. I'm gonna pick the same song, but I don't want it to play at the same point. Okay, so I need to hold my finger down and I need to find 15 seconds later. So it's not rocket science, guys. If it started at 54. Okay, I'm gonna go to a minute 4. That's 10 seconds. And then 5 seconds past that is 15 seconds. Now what that means is when I hit done and I move this out of the way, that second video is gonna pick up where that part of the song left off. So if it's like that, you have to like play with the music. It's gonna take you a little bit to kind of learn that. But I wanted you guys, and if you mess up and you don't want it, you just discard it, okay? I gotta figure out why I can hear myself. Hold on a second. So weird. Can you still hear me, Kristen? Okay, all right. Just making sure. All right. Okay, let me look at what the chat said real quick. Can you still do this in Facebook? I believe you can, okay, where you can add music and stuff, but I'm gonna get to that in a second, Melody, about that. Let me show you something in Instagram real quick, okay? So if I go into Instagram, you don't have to have, oh, hello, Nicole. You don't have to have an Instagram, but let me tell you why I only have 4,000 followers, and I'm working on it. But let me tell you why I like Instagram, because it's not really, I'm not telling you to go learn Instagram. I'm just saying if you have one, you've not done much with it. You can actually go in and you can click on your, like go into your profile like this. Then you're going to click on the 3 lines at the top right. Then you're going to click on settings at the bottom. You're going to click on privacy, and you're going to click on story. And if you go all the way to the bottom, there's a spot that says share your story on Facebook. I have that on. So every time I do a story, I do it on Instagram, and then it puts it on Facebook for me. So I'm working smarter, not harder, because I do it once and it posts on both of my places. Okay. Anytime I do an opportunity post for the day, all right, let me just show you. So last night I did an opportunity, I did an opportunity post right here. Okay. Just like Kristen said, I went and sat in the house that we want to build. What I did was I copied these words. I held my finger down on what I already typed up and I copied the words. Then I went right into Instagram, and you can see right here that I did the same post. When I do an opportunity post on Facebook, I put it on Instagram. Smarter, not harder. Don't try to like recreate the wheel. You have different people watching you. So how do you do that? Okay. First of all, when you do any type of opportunity post, you have to have the income disclosure there. I'll show you how I add the income disclosure, but you have to have this there so that it protects our company. So if I was going to make a post on Instagram with multiple pictures, I click this little plus square in the middle, bottom middle. Okay. And whatever pictures I want to add, okay, so say I want to add multiple pictures, okay? So if I click this one, on the, right at the bottom of that picture where it looks on the very, very bottom right, it looks like a square on top of a square. If you click that square on top of a square, it gives you the option to add other pictures. So I can just, add as many as I want. And then you hit next, and it gives you the option to change the filter. If you want to change the color, you can make it black and white. You can make it look different. You can make each picture different. Like you can do whatever you want. Okay. And then when you hit next, it lets you add the words in there. And then I can like literally paste my words in there. So I'm using the same opportunity post on Facebook and Instagram every day. I'm using the same story on Facebook and Instagram every day. Why can I do that? Because I have different people on each platform and I'm working smarter, not harder. Why do more work? There's no need for that, okay? I'm gonna show you real quick how to add a poll. For those of you who are not using your story is super important. Let me show you my story for the day, okay? I'm gonna show you why your story is amazing. So I am sharing last night that I'm drinking my sleepy tea, okay? I'm taking a boomerang of me putting it in there. I'm showing me drinking it. Sitting, doing, watching football. I always add, or basketball, I'm always adding quotes in there in between things. If you're like, I don't know what to do, go get a quote, make it a filler. In the morning, I'm showing making my celery and I add music to it. And I always make this only 15 seconds long. When you hold your finger down and you're taking a video, you can see how long you have. I make it 15 seconds long and I add, I show making my celery every day. Sometimes I'll put information about the celery right after it, and other times I won't. A quote, me walking my daughter to the bus stop, my dog sleeping. This is me taking my cleanse today and talking about how I'm gonna go on a morning walk in a work session with girls. This is me with making my coffee, like I said. And I also added a picture, my before and after picture on there. I'll show you how to do that in a second. There may be an easier way, but this is how I do it. Then I put a thing about who wants a sample and I added a poll. Then I did a quote. Then we were walking and I just added pictures of us walking and me working out and having a salad and hanging out with the girls. And I turned it into an opportunity post talking about how I get to do what I want every day. And I added an opportunity slide with the income disclosure and I added a poll if somebody wants info. And then there's me with my dog. And then me about what I bought today at TJ Maxx that I shouldn't have stopped and bought. Like, all this different stuff. And then there's me on the diamond and above Zoom. And then taking my daughter to get gifts for her friend's birthday. And I'm just sharing my life. I'm talking about how this business is filling up my gas tank. Going to Zumba, books I'm reading or listening to, dinner. Like I'm literally I'm always adding stuff. Now, okay, so let me show you how to add a poll. So if you pick a picture, doesn't matter what picture, okay? And you click that little smiley face square at the top, then you can add a poll right here. If you click poll, it's gonna allow you to put options. This is where you can message people if they vote on it, okay? This is how you add a poll, and you wanna make it positive, like love that, I don't know, say it was about coffee. I need that in my life, and send me info. Shit, I can't spell. Send me info, okay? And then you click done, and then you can squeeze your finger apart or out or in and make it bigger or smaller. You can move it around. I would not put it like way over here or way over here. I would kind of just be careful where you put it because people can accidentally tap on it, okay? But that's how you add a poll. And then you click the bottom left button where it says your story, and it goes to Facebook and Instagram. If you do this on Instagram, the poll goes on both. So you're, again, smarter, not harder. You have a poll on Instagram and a poll on Snapchat, or a poll on Facebook. Now, if you're asking about Facebook, yes, you can go into Facebook and you can do stories just on your Facebook. You can click on add story. You can do the same thing at the top. You can do boomerang. You can add music. You can do a poll. Everything's on Facebook too. But if you can do Instagram and do it on Instagram and link them like I showed you, then you're able to, when we do daily tasks and we say go follow 50 or 200 on Instagram and go friend 25 on Facebook, you're reaching 2 different networks and doing the work one time because you're using the same post, same stories, okay? Let me show you another thing. If you are in Instagram and you see somebody, I'll just go into Tiffany Her. So say you're like, ooh, I love that story. How do these people create all these amazing stories? Guys, I do not create my own. Like Jade Hooper will tell you, follow the right cat and don't do something that you don't know how to, like, you can go and do it yourself, but if you're going to spend 4 hours doing something you don't know how to do, why not just use something that's already provided for you? So if you're going through a story and you're like, ooh, I want that for I want to use this myself. See how her name's at the top right there? If I hold my finger down on my screen, her name disappears. And then if you figure out, you have to keep your finger on the screen, then you take a screenshot of it. But if your finger's not on the screen, their name's going to be at the top. See how if I lift my finger up, Tiffany Her's name comes back up to the top? You have to hold your finger down on the screen. So what I do is literally, this is what I do. Screenshot, go to the next slide. Hold my finger down, screenshot, go to the next slide. Okay, you getting the gist? Screenshot. Now, if I want to add that to my own story, all I do is go in like I'm going to do a story, and everything I just took screenshots of is right there. I can hold my finger down on it and I can select all 4. I can click next, and then literally they're all there. If I want to add a poll to it, I can add a poll to it. Don't try to recreate something if it's all there. If you see somebody that you like their story, hold your finger down and then take it. If you see somebody doing it using a video, okay, so say you saw somebody that was making their coffee or a video that you liked, or a corporate video, okay, you can go into an app called Repost. Now on Android, it's Repost. It may be something on Apple, okay? If you click on Repost, you can go in here and you can search people from Instagram, okay? So I'm gonna just go in and I'm gonna search Cheyenne Knox. Come on. Oh, now it's really gonna not. Okay, hold on. Shay. Will it come up then? Here we go. Savashay, that's my thing. So if you go in here, it's gonna show you everything she's posted on Instagram. Okay, and if you're like, ooh, I wanna take her video, okay? See, it says Savashay video right there. If I click on that video, see how she did it? And I click save and copy, and then I just completely get out of that. Then I go into my Instagram and I go to my little gallery. Her video's right there. I can post it as my own. If you see somebody with a video, go into that free app and just save their video and post it as your own, okay? You guys are complicating, how do I add to my story? How do I make posts? Guys, follow the right people, duplicate what they're doing, make it your own. Pinterest, this is I'm going through all of these. Pinterest, if you're like, how do I find quotes? Guys, just go in here and search morning quotes. Here's how you find quotes to put on your story. Normally what I do, if I put right here, if I add this to my story, so say I save that, not all who wander are lost, I will also make that my first post of the day on Facebook. Working smarter, not harder. I add it to my story, I add it to my Facebook as something positive and motivational, and then my first post is done. I'm always working smarter, not harder. TikTok, doesn't matter. Listen, if you're learning TikTok and you want to be able to, you're like, listen, I don't even know how to do TikTok. And you're like, I just don't know. Hold your finger down on a video you like, and you can click add to favorites right here. Okay, then when you go into me in the bottom right, you're gonna see a little flag right in the middle where it says edit profile. Over to the right, you can click on the little flag, and that little flag is all the videos that I've ever saved that I like. So if you see a video that you're like, ooh, I wanna recreate that, all I do is add it to my favorites, and when I have time, I go in and look at it and recreate it. Okay, I'm not gonna do a whole TikTok training, but that's what I do on TikTok, and then I recreate things that somebody else already did. I did not come up with those TikToks on my own. Okay, so you'll see here where it says website. Something else I do is if you go into your browser and you type in your website, okay? Once your website comes up, you can, on my phone, you click the three dots in the top right-hand corner, and you click add to home screen. All I did was add my website to my home screen so that anytime I want to go into my website and look up information about a product, view product info, I need to double check a price, I want to see what kind of sales going on. All I have to do is click on website and my website pops right up. Okay, that's a shortcut that I created for myself. The It Works sample app. I have the It Works sample app there because you can make daily money, guys. You can be, you can do polls like I have on mine right here. Let me go into my story again. When I did my coffee, see how I did a poll right here? Who wants a sample? When somebody says they want a sample, I can sell samples of the coffee, and I can make sample cash every single day. Now, people you're talking to, potentials that you're talking to that don't want to become a customer for the coffee right away, you can offer them a sample. Be like, listen, in the meantime, would you like a 3-day sample? I can give you a discounted one and send it out today. I already have my sample app right here. All I have to do is log in, and I can ship out, corporate will send out a sample. You get the money, and you've made cash for the day. Okay, so don't think that no's or never. Ask them if they want a sample first, okay? The It Works Connect app, we obviously use that for a lot of different things, but I want to share with you something. If you're, I always give people the option if they want to put in the order themselves or if they want me to do it for them. I prefer doing it for them, but if they want to do it themselves, you can go into your It Works Connect app, click your face in the bottom right-hand corner, and it says My Shopping List. You click My Shopping List, you can click Create a New Cart or create a new list at the bottom, and you can put in the cart what they're getting so that they don't mess it up, okay? So say they want to get the, I don't know, It Works Sleepy Tea, and you add it to the cart, and then you click Save. You can name it whatever. It doesn't even matter. You can just put list. It doesn't matter. And click Save. Okay, you could put their name, whatever. It shows you the product, and then you click Send. And what's going to happen is this is going to come up. You're going to hold your finger down on this link, and you're going to click Copy. You can't just send that to them on Facebook Messenger. What you have to do is go into your browser like Google or whatever, and you have to paste that up here. You're going to hold your finger down and you're going to paste that link, and you're going to click Go. What it's going to do is take you right to that shopping cart, but if you look at the top, it completely changed what that link looked like. Like Google converts it to something that is more appropriate apparently for Facebook Messenger. And then you go back up here to the link, and you're going to click Copy. And then when I go into Messenger and say I go to Jake, when I go into Messenger, if I'm going to sit there and I'm going to send this to him, when I hold my finger down and click Paste, it'll actually let me send the shopping cart through Messenger because I changed it in Google first. So you don't have to worry about texting it to them. You just have to take that extra step, throw it in Google, and it'll let you. And then when that person clicks on it, it'll take them right to the cart, and all they have to do is click continue, and they can check out and not mess anything up. Okay. Okay, shopping cart. I showed you the website. I showed you the TikTok. I showed you Pinterest, repost, Instagram, sample cache. The other thing I have in here is I have Messenger. I created a Messenger shortcut because then I can go right into my Messenger. Okay, and I can see my messages from people who I need to talk to. The last thing I want to talk to you about is I have, well, second to last, real quick. I don't want to keep you much longer. I appreciate your guys' time. I have a self-development folder right here on the left, minus the Netflix, because that's not supposed to be in there. I'll remove that. So I use Audible. Like I said, I like to listen to things, okay? Because if you like to read books, but I like to listen. I feel like I do better that way, and I'm on the go, okay? So some of the books that I really love, my most favorite book that I just listened to, that I just finished, is Sherry Lynn Ocala's book called You Can Do Hard Things. I would highly recommend that you all go get that book on Audible, listen to it. It's 3 hours long. Like, go get it today. It's incredible. And I feel like it gets even better midway through. And then I just finished it and I've only had it a week, and I'm going to listen to it again because it's so good. It takes what it takes. It's good so far. I'm only halfway through. Rhinoceros Success is good. Girl Wash Your Face is good. It doesn't matter. You guys just use whatever you want to do to get your self-development in, but I use Audible. If you like to read, you could do Kindle. Castbox is a free podcast like Kristen was talking about. So in my Castbox, I downloaded a bunch of podcasts of Ashley Mayfield. It's called Fireball. And I listened to these on the plane when we were flying home from Vegas the other day. Find a free podcast. If you want a podcast to start with Ashley Mayfield's Fireball. It's incredible. Again, like I listened to like 30 of them on the plane. They are so good. They will help you with the business. They're incredible. Other than that, you can just use YouTube and search for inspirational videos, okay? Crap. I just got out of the Zoom on my phone. I need to get back in. There's one more thing I want to show you. I'm sorry, guys. 880. Okay, hold on. Join meeting. Oh, shit. Okay. Kristen, Jody, can you still hear me? Okay. So let me screen share one more thing. So if you have Android, if you have Android, it's called Lazy Board. If you have Apple, it's called Wordboard, okay? Lazy Board is something that I was resistant on doing for a long time because I was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just put everything in my notes, and that's fine if you don't want to do this. But if you're talking to enough people, this will come in so handy. Okay, it'll take you a little bit of time, but you can basically create Amber. So what I was talking about real quick with changing, if you have, I always like to put in my customers' orders for them, but if they want to do it themselves and you create a shopping cart in the Connect app, when you copy that link, you have to go to Google, put that link in Google, click go, let it kind of, it converts it to something different. Then you recopy that link at the top and send that through Messenger, okay? You can play with that yourself too. You can like send yourself a shopping cart in Messenger, like Facebook Messenger, and make sure it works first, okay? I send stuff to myself on Facebook Messenger all the time, like, because you can send stuff to yourself, that way you don't lose it. Okay, it sounds funny, but you can. So right here, you can create folders. So I have a TFX folder, and I literally named it TFX. I gave it an icon, okay? So I felt like the fire was appropriate because it's metabolism burning. And then I put in the words. So what I did was I hit this little plus button at the bottom right, And then it takes you into something like this. And I put in the phrase, like, sent you a friend request. Once you accept my message with it, the info will come through. And then at the bottom, you can create a shortcut so you know what that's going to be. Okay, so let me show you what that really means. If I go into Messenger and I go to Jake and I go in here and say, okay, first of all, see the bottom right where this looks like a little keyboard? If I click the keyboard and it'll come up that I'm in my regular keyboard, I have to change it to lazy board or word board. And then you'll see all these different categories that I have the option of going into. So say I'm doing host to post. I have all my host to post words in here. Okay, so Jake's Jake's upstairs. He's gonna totally be wondering why I'm blowing up his messenger, but he'll live. So for all of you who are like not doing host to post, do host to post. Okay, so one way you can do host to post is you can go into your messenger and you can do what's called green light messaging. So you can go into your active messenger list, scroll to the bottom, okay? And if I was gonna do that, I could just click on a person's name, go into my little lazy board and click this right here, done. Hey there, quick favor to ask. No, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I hope it's okay that I'm messaging you. Totally feel free to say no, blah, blah, blah. Do you see how fast that was? I could literally go back out. I could click another person. I'm gonna go click Autumn because I know she's not gonna care. And I could click on my little box again, send her a message, done. See how fast green light messaging can be because I'm using my word board, okay? So then I go back into that and they say, yes, that, you know, it would mean the world to me. Would you do a post for me? If they say yes, I have awesome. Awesome. Great, you're the best. Thank you so much for being willing to help me out. Just copy and paste what I send next. Then I go back in and I can send them one of my host to posts. I can either give them a TFX one, a hair, skin, nails. I can give them a coffee. And all I do is click right on it. There you go. If I have everything here, I don't have to worry about being stressed and overwhelmed about having conversations. So then somebody comments on that coffee host to post, right? I have a little coffee conversation. Hey, I saw your comment that you were interested in coffee. Were you interested in losing some weight? How much would you like to lose? Oh, Melody says I'd like to lose 50 pounds. Great. Let me ask you a few questions. Great. She answers the questions. And depending on if she says her likes her coffee black or if she likes it, normally I'm always suggesting the skinny brew, but I do have the keto coffee in here. So say I'm going to do skinny brew right here. Great. Perfect. I've actually lost over 20 pounds using this. This is what the coffee is. Does that sound like something you'd want to do? Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, to be honest, based on what you told me, I'd recommend the triple threat. Would that be something? Like, everything is just right here. It takes the guessing completely out of the conversation. So all of you who are having anxiety about having conversation, I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but I'm saying if you take 2 hours, play around with word board, play around with lazy board, whatever one you have. It's a free app until you start adding like extra entries. So I had to pay $1.99 one time so that I can make as many word boards as I want. It's totally worth it. Okay. That will help make it so much easier for you. Instead of having to copy and paste in your notes. And if you go into the units and Believe Tribe and go to the very bottom, I literally put all the verbiage in there. You don't even need to think. You just need to copy it and put it in your word board and save it. Okay. Real quick on the editing, I want to show you because somebody said, oh, I can't use PixArt. So first of all, PixArt is what I like to use. If I take, do you see how it's asking you to pay for something right here? I've had people say, I can't use PixArt, it makes you pay. Click the X in the top left-hand corner, it goes away. That's probably gonna pop up 3 or 4 more times, it doesn't matter. Take it, like X it out. So I add the little plus button, okay? I wanna show you how you can edit something and you can make it your own. So at the very bottom, right here, see where it says freestyle? If you click freestyle, and I'm gonna search, you can just scroll through your gallery, okay? But I know specifically where I have something. I saved it for tonight. It's in a Zoom folder. I want to show you guys this. So Cheyenne Knox. Do you see how there's a picture of Cheyenne to the right, the blonde? Yeah, that's not me. But I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And everybody's like, how did you make your own? you want to know how I made my own? Like, this is literally how I made my own. Okay, I went into Instagram. I brought the picture up of Cheyenne. Don't let me lose you. I'm just searching through my pictures. So I took this picture of Cheyenne right here. Oh, how do I make this my own? I click the little squiggle button at the top right, and I click white, and you can adjust how big this gets. I made it really big, and I literally just erased Cheyenne from the screen. Okay, so I literally let me just make her disappear real quick so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. So this is what I did, okay? And actually, I just carried it all the way to the bottom. Cheyenne's gone. Now, how do you make it your own? I literally click the check mark at the top right, and I click the save button, which is at the very top. It's the little arrow down with the line under it. I save it. Then I get out of Instagram. I go into PixArt. I brought up the picture. Now, you can't see it here, but I'll show you what the finished product looked like. Oh, look, it's going to make you pay again. No, it's not. Click the X at the top left. It takes you right in. I literally created my own by just bringing up the blank template. And when I brought it up, maybe I should have showed you that. I'm sorry. Let me show you since I'm confusing you. Let me bring up that blank one. Okay, here. So here, I bring up the one I just erased Cheyenne from, and I enlarge it. Okay? And then I click the little arrow at the top right. Then at the bottom, it has all these options. I click add photo. I go in and I go up here to recent, and I went into selfies, okay? And I just picked a picture of myself. So say I'm like, yeah, we'll do, I don't know, this one. And then I click add. All I did was move my picture and enlarge it. And now it's me, not Cheyenne. Okay, well, but her profile's on the phone. How do I add the profile, my picture on her phone? Well, you go into your Instagram, like your actual Instagram, okay? And you take a screenshot. And then when I'm in PixArt, when I add a photo, I can take and add I can take this and I'll see how big it is. Okay, I can make it little, I can rotate it, and I can put it right over top of Cheyenne's. And now it's my picture. So you just got to play around with PixArt. You can use other people's stories and just use the little erase button and then make it your own by adding your picture on it. Okay, and then the way that I make this, I crop this. So I click the check mark, and then over here where it says tools, I click crop, and then I just crop it down, and then I check mark it, and then I use a little arrow to finish it out. Look, it's gonna try to make you pay again. No, it's not. Exit out and click save to gallery. Then when you go into your Instagram to post it, you have literally made it your own. I literally now have a brand new story that looks like me, but it was just Cheyenne's. All because I took 5 minutes and used a little erase button, plopped my picture on it, and now it looks like it's me. Okay, so use other people's stories. Don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel, okay? PixArt is one of my favorites. Pick Tap Go is an app that I will use if I want to brighten a picture. So say this is Riley, okay, today. And I click on a picture and then I click edit. Down at the bottom, you can change the contrast, the color, but if I click on filters, it gives me the option to make it look different. And you can click filters again and keep like making it look different. Like I just made it crispy. Okay, that's what the thing is called. If I don't like that, I can just click undo and it'll go back to normal. And then like there's lots of free apps, guys, that you can use, okay? But my whole point to this is if you want to work smarter and not harder, okay, you have to, don't be afraid to screenshot other people's stories. Don't be afraid to go follow people that you, like if you're like, I don't know how to do an opportunity post, go follow the people I mentioned, Morgan Martin, Jade Hooper, Jackie Deering, me, Nicole, Autumn, Noelle Cruz, Brooke Phillips. Go follow the people in the units that we tell you to follow. copy what they're literally doing word for word, change up the words to fit yourself, put your own picture on it, and do that until you get comfortable with it. You don't need to spend 4, 5, 6 hours a day editing pictures, being perfect, coming up with your own stuff. Go to Pinterest and search quotes. Use the, like, recreate, what is the app to find the videos that, oh, so on here, okay, so on Android, it's called Repost Story. So what I would do if you have an Apple is literally Google, what app on Apple is like Repost Story. Like, guys, you can Google anything, okay? But I would say that helps you if you see a video that somebody's done that you want to recreate. There you go, Repost for Apple. Use your notes. Like, I have my notes app, and anytime I like have, like, if I have a to-do list or if I see verbiage I like, I put it in my notes. Use Pinterest to search for pretty pictures. Guys, don't, like, literally, it's not hard. It doesn't take much to be productive, okay? I know we went over, I apologize, but I really wanted to let Kristen share. I really wanted to give you guys some, like, really tangible information for just, I feel like people just overcomplicate things, and you don't have to be incredible and amazing and perfect to be able to have a really pretty profile, an amazing story. Just be yourself. Go look at some of the other leaders, see what they do, screenshot, use it yourself. If you have questions, put it in the chat, but I hope that this was helpful. I'm gonna stop recording. Hold on, more.